Now that is what I call a basketball game. We got the Sixers versus the Celtics. James Harden with yet another game winner in another game in this series. It's only game 4. Hit the game winner in game 1, and he hit the game winner just now. But before we get into the game, talking about what happened in the clutch, the future of the series, I want to give a special shout out to James Harden and also the Michigan State shooting victim who he brought to the game. You know, he invited him to the game and he said, well, I'm going to be here with you every step of the way through your recovery. And it's just when you put good out into the world, you get it right back. And to do what he's doing, it's a lot of blessings that's going to come with that. So I want to give a moment and a special shout out to, the recovery of that shooting victim and James Harden for being such a great guy in the community. Now, this game, I got major questions for the Boston Celtics. Joe Mazzulla, you on my clock. Now, Ime would have never done that, which you just did. So, okay, we're going to talk about how we got into this situation. Obviously, it's the clutch. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum. In the fourth quarter and overtime, they were the guys who had the ball in the clutch. Now, let's talk about the fourth quarter first. And I was listening to the broadcast, Joe Mazzulla, in an interview. He was talking about how I want to keep 2 timeouts. I'm patient enough so when I get in a clutch situation, I get in those moments, I got 2 timeouts. So if a team scores on us, timeout, we can cool it down. If we need to score a timeout, let's draw up a play, let's get back out there. We don't got the look we want, we could call another timeout. I got 2 timeouts in my pocket. That's overall what we got. He didn't use 2 timeouts in fourth quarter. He didn't use 2 timeouts in overtime. So when Jason Tatum had the ball, he had 2 timeouts on the clock. Now, in the fourth quarter, there were about 15 seconds after the 76ers scored to tie the game up. And then in overtime, they had the ball after James Harden hit the 3, and then they didn't call a timeout either. The 76ers called a timeout, and then now the Boston Celtics are on the court. We're wondering, what are we doing? Jason Tatum is just dribbling up the court. Marcus Smart has the ball, and we're wasting time. That's literally all we're doing. We have Jaylen Brown. We got Al Horford. We got all of these guys. Now, mind you, we're not down by 2. We're not down by 3. As you can see, we're down by 1. All we have to do is get a 2-point shot, and we end up getting a 3-point attempt when we could have called one of those 2 timeouts and get into a better shot, get into a look, matchup versus matchup, seeing that the 76ers have Tobias Harris on the court. We see they got Joel Embiid on the court. So maybe we bring somebody out small and force them. Do you want to keep Embiid in the game while we got all these small guys out here? Is that our mismatch? And we can get Tatum to the rim. We can get Brown slashing to the rim, even Marcus Smart. But we're matching up with that and seeing how Doc Rivers reacts to that situation. Now, the officiating in these moments, they were just letting them play, because we could have easily said that Tatum 3 to get the lead. We could have said that was an offensive foul. Could have said that was a push off. And then now when we get to the Celtics having the ball again, what are we doing? That's why I'm really trying to figure out the situation, because you could have won this game. Now, we talk about the future of this series before we get into the stats and everything. And I think this is a good series. Tonight, I wouldn't even say, even though he had 34, he had 34 and 13. I still say Joel Embiid didn't look 100% like himself. And it's scary to say a guy's dropping 34 and 13 and he's not 100%. But you watch him in this game, I think he needs a little more rest just to get 100%, get back going. Now we're getting into the thick of this series, game 5, and it's not do or die, but you want to win this game and have the momentum in the series. So I think him taking a rest now, he's probably not going to practice hard, if at all, and then we're going to get back into game 5, and then now I'm healthy. Now we can really go and get this. But for the 76ers, the games that they've won, game 1 and game 4, it's been buzzer beaters. So we're talking about the Boston Celtics and how they have won basketball games. It's been kind of convincing. So I'm not going to make a prediction in the series. I do think it's a close one. I think it could swing either way. Now I'm going to have to see game 5. And after game 5, I'm going to make my prediction. But I really need to see that. And just talking about it from a statistical standpoint, Harris had a really tough game The 1 for 5 from the 3, 3 of 10 from the field goal. PJ Tucker, we know he's more D. He's a 3 and D player, but he's more D than 3 at this point in his career. He's not out there to get a lot of points, and that's okay because he's been doing a good job defending those guys. And you running around with Tatum, Brown, Williams, you running around with those guys, you're going to be tired on the offensive end. Now, James Harden, interested, I want to talk about this last shot between those guys, had 42. And this is why you go get a James Harden, because in these series, superstars got to be superstars. He's done it. Now, game 2 and game 3, James Harden don't want to remember those games at all. But tonight in game 1, if we can recapture that for 2 more games. Now, it's not going to be easy when you got Derek White, athletic defense, Marcus Smart, athletic defense, Brown, Tatum. It's not going to be easy at all. But you got to give 25 or more. And you may, honestly, in this series, the way it's looking, the way the supporting cast is playing, you may have to go get us 30 unless Maxey steps up, because I think he's earned a borderline star title. So if he steps up, gives us 20 to 25, which I think he can, interested to see. Now, I'm saying we got these good defenders at guards. One of the top 2 to 3 defense in basketball. We're talking about the Boston Celtics. I think Milwaukee can rival them, some other teams, Cleveland. But right here, this is a very good defensive team. Maxey's going 6 of 17. They're challenging at the rim. They're guarding on perimeter. It's hard to get into our shots, hard to get to our spot. So with that being said, but Harden, he said in that last play where Embiid drew the double from Jaylen Brown, we had Horford on the side of him, but Tatum was guarding Embiid. So you can't blame Brown for helping. I think that's the smart basketball play, and we force Harden. Now, Harden, you see, 6 of 9 from the 3. I think Horford may have been the guy, anybody, but you got to communicate that. You got those 2 timeouts. So this is all going back to Joe Mazzulla. I'm not putting this on the players, because if we got Embiid on Tatum, I'm helping too. And then we're going to pass that out to Harden in the corner. He drains the 3. But Harden said initially this was supposed to be a dribble handoff play. Didn't get the look we wanted. He got denied by Jaylen Brown from touching the ball. So now we give it to Harden. No, we give it to Embiid. Embiid goes to get his shot. And then that's what we have. So you got to think about it. Embiid getting back to the line, 12 of 15, as we can see right here, 11 of 26. Pretty solid night. He's had better, but you need this. And you got everything you needed out of Embiid with him not being 100%. So, I mean, it's very, very tough to lose this way, because I think you had it. And that's why I say I have a lot of questions, because Joe Mazzulla, how? We look at this game from the Boston Celtics. We see the starting cast. They came in. Brogdon, 6-man, doing it all for this team. Now, very interesting, in that last possession, we could have got Brogdon in. I want to know what you guys think about that, but we could have got Brogdon in, took Derek White out. But because Brogdon was really feeling good. 5-8 from the 3, 6 of 13. Like I said, you kick it out to one of those shooters, because you kicked it out to Marcus Smart. Now, he was 4-9 before. No, actually, he was 4-10 before taking that last shot, because that last shot didn't count. He did hit the shot, but it didn't count. Didn't get the ball off in time. Like I said, that's going back to Joe Mazzulla for me. Now, Jaylen Brown had a good game. Jason Tatum had a tough night. But we know Jason Tatum, sometimes he's off, but sometimes he's really on. So it's really dependent. And I think a night that you were off, Marcus Smart came in, gave you some big shots. Derek White came in, had a solid game. Brogdon stepped up as that 6-man role. But you lost this game. I think it's on Joe Mazzulla. Now, I'm interested to see how these next few games go. Really paying attention. I think everybody should have their eyes on Game 5, because this is the tell-all. It's not whoever wins this game. And you shot poor from the free throw line and throw that out. But it's not whoever wins the game. It's how they win it. So I want to see not only who wins the game, I want to see how they win it. Because based on tonight, James Harden had a good game. Can he do it again? We know James, he breaks down, but he hasn't had the offensive load up to this point like he used to have in Houston, like he used to have in those MVP seasons. Some of that is off him now. He's more healthy. He's more ready to go in this point. So maybe Harden can give us this again. Maybe Maxey's going to give us some more. Maybe Harris can step up. Embiid giving us the same thing. Tatum's going to have a good game. We have to look out for that. Is the supporting cast for Boston going to keep continuing to perform like this? Marcus Smart, Derek White. What is we going to see? I need to see Game 5, and I'll come back to it again, because it's not who wins it. it's how you win it. Based on tonight, I have a lot of questions for the Boston Celtics, Joe Mazzulla in particular. But game 5, that's why I got my eyes on. That's going to do it for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. We coming out with more playoff content. But that's going to do it for today. And now, we out.